So to feel it real fun.
Today, we're going to do something really special with the works of Neville Goddard
Oh,
and our own experience of them.
oh,
It's called filler because YouTube hasn't told anyone we're here yet.
oh, I see.
So,
Okay.
so we'll stack keywords in.
Well, we've got one like, so someone's here.
See, look at that. See, no one's here, but we got a like.
That's bizarre.
Anyway, welcome to another exciting episode
Did you
of.
like it?
No, I can't
I'm
like it.
joking. Welcome to another
I can't like
exciting
myself. I've got
episode.
self-esteem and self-worth and self-concept issues, and once I engage in enough self-love, I can have what I want.
Okay.
All right,
We start now?
let's do it
We've
now.
got 2 likes. There's still no one
Oh,
here.
it's from Kadra. Triple D Anka or Kadra
Okay.
Anka. Yeah, triple. Yeah, all these people.
Okay. So welcome you guys to another exciting episode of Feel It Real Fun on our 10th of December 2021. 2 weeks and one day to go.
It's beginning to look a lot like
Christmas.
fudge, man. I still haven't got Victoria nothing.
Not me. Well, I ordered you one thing that I made you paid for.
That's true, and we can go shopping in the grocery store because we're part of the Great Unwashed.
We are.
Anyway,
And it's your manifesting questions answered live.
that's right. Everyone says.
Yeah.
Janice, yo, all these Triple D and MM people here.
Okay. So go to freenever.com.
221 email is pseudo.
Random goodness.
That's right.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
You know what's absolutely shocking to me? Probably 8 out of 10 people who send me their first email aren't on the email list. Right? Aren't. Right? We'll just
The
call that.
first email in Manifesting Mastery.
No. On the free one. Right?
Oh, right.
So like, here's the thing, guys. We send out gold every day. Okay, if you're not reading it, you're not getting it. Right? Get it. Right? 221 email pseudo freenevel.easy.
Easy
right?
peasy and free. Yeah, and yeah, cool.
Don't say free. No, everyone goes on. It's free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It costs you lots of money. Nice.
See, free emails and free things, they go, oh, it mustn't be worth anything. But if you'd give me an hour's worth of your time so I can talk slowly to you, right, about my problems.
Your self-concept.
Anyway, yeah, exactly. They just want me to give them some self-love. And anyway.
Okay. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right. Oh my God, it's like $1 a day. Abhu started up today.
Oh, right. Oh, good one,
Just before the show.
Oh, wow.
We have
So
another
they might
one
not
too.
have even done their first lesson yet.
Oh, they're probably doing it right now.
Well,
Only
maybe
takes 15 minutes. I mean, you can dick around at work for 15 minutes, can't you? You
some
used
people
to.
can.
Yeah. Anyway,
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
all right. So if y'all who are here that could share it on the Facebook and so on could draw, you have unlimited capacity to share in the Law of Attraction by Neville Goddard, by the way.
Unlimited.
So like just smash it up there. Your posts go right up live. So
they?
yeah,
Without getting...
yeah, we don't moderate her no more.
How can you do that for certain people?
Yeah,
Well, you're
people
lucky.
who we know, love, and trust. Otherwise, we just sit back and we watch you.
They're sitting pending.
Anyway.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
Look at this. Triple D Cassidy says, already having gotten gold from the show. He's doing what they teach
Good
us
on you,
in
Cassidy.
Triple D. Yo. Boom.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, shall we dive in, Victoria?
We shall.
All right.
So the first question is from Manifesting Mastery Manjari. Blah and boring.
By the way, Nicholas says hello from Brazil. Nicholas?
Hello, Nicholas from Brazil.
From Melbourne.
Yes, we're from Melbourne, Australia. Manjari says, sorry for the lengthy comment. I guess my question is, what do I feel real if everything I usually enjoy sounds blah and boring? I feel hopeless, and even imagining feeling satisfied at the end of the day seems out of reach.
Alrighty, this is really good. We're going to go advanced real quick. Ready? So, manifestingmasterycourse.com, lesson 1, it's all about the Girls Giggle. We want people to notice that it's not something out there, the Girls Giggle, that turned you around. It was something in there. It's what you imagined about it.
Something in the box, as you
Right?
should say.
Yeah, in the box. Now, here's the cool thing I noticed. And you gave me such a good one here, Manjari, so I want to thank you for this. Your first comment was pretty long. It was like a book. Right? And it's cool that you noticed that it was like a book because it was pretty long, right? And so, but where does it come from, right? So when I read this, this is really cool. I want to point this out because this is really going to change a lot of lives. Ready? What do what do I feel real if everything I usually enjoy sounds blah and boring? Are people telling you it's blah and boring? Like, are you thinking like, oh my god, like pork belly, and is like your mom calling you up saying, oh, that sounds blah and boring, or your neighbor are they coming over and saying that sounds blah and boring? And we all know they're not, right?
Mm.
So inside you've got this internal auditory going blah and boring, boring and blah. And what I want you to do is notice this, right? So you've got, thinking, human experience tends to happen in three areas, right? There's pictures, like where you see shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think Larry David, right? There's auditory where you hear shit, think like Victoria's Toyota, right? Right? And then there's kinesthetic. So there's pictures, sounds, and feelings. And kinesthetic is like that thing on the chalkboard kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, look at her go.
Mm.
See, I know how to. I can get. See,
Fingernails.
I don't even ask. She didn't hear it on the outside. She heard it on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, here's the cool thing. Stop it.
Mm.
Now, here's the cool thing. What's one of the ways you can stop it? Change the channel. How do you change the channel? Leave the auditory channel behind, that internal auditory, and take a walk and look around because there's always people who you can imagine lovingly for. And
Mm.
Neville says many a person's cross has been lifted by imagining lovingly, right?
Mm.
Take a walk. Go imagine lovingly for the people that you pass, how you represent them, and watch what happens to you. It's
Mm.
so cool. And while you're walking and you're imagining lovingly for the guy crossing the street who's hobbling along, or the guy that's hitting on the girl and the girl's just, blowing him off, that kind of thing. What's really, 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 really cool is your own cross suddenly gets lifted. Suddenly you have a desire for something like pork belly.
Mm.
Right? Or dim sims for lunch, but more on that later.
For
Victoria,
lunch.
look at that. Look at her. Look at her. Look at,
No.
oh, that'd be naughty. Yo, triple D,
Okay.
Magi. But
Cool.
more on this
Excellent.
coming up. But this is what I
Yeah.
want you to do. The key concept for this one: change the channel. If internal auditory is just bringing you down, down, down,
Mm.
right? Get some external visual in there. Take a walk. Like run your fingernails on some chalkboard or something
I'm not
like
going
that.
to respond.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at her! Look at her hold it in. Right.
Cool.
So,
Excellent.
but more on this later.
More on
Victoria,
that later. So that was from Manjari. Thank you very much for your question.
always remember you're driving the bus.
The next question is for Cortez on Facebook. Goals and
That's
definite.
Cortese.
There's no E after it.
That's how he says it though.
Cortez on Facebook. Goals and definite
Cortese.
aims. Cortez, Cortese, if that's really how you say it,
Cortese.
asks, what was Neville's thoughts on definite aims and or goals in life and how to achieve them?
I love Napoleon Hill, but not that much compared to Neville, right? I was a real Napoleon Hill junkie for a long time. And I would be doing what Nappy would say. Like I'd figure out what do I want, what am I willing to sacrifice for it, what am I willing to give up, all that stuff, and I'd spend a lot of time in my head.
Mm.
And I did accomplish some things, but I noticed what really got me to actually do some things because what I noticed is people have goals and they get some and they miss others. But I noticed when anytime you really surrender to the state of a wish fulfilled, it happens. Sometimes sooner than expected, sometimes longer than expected, sometimes in ways you expect, sometimes in ways you don't, right? And here's the cool thing. So what are Neville's thoughts on definite aims and or goals in life and how to achieve them? So I'm going to suggest manifesting to the max.com, right? I talked about that today because of identity-based manifesting. Now watch this. Before I get out of bed, I do my Joseph Goddard. We'll talk more about that later. But basically, I imagine specific events of today already having gone my way.
Mm.
Guys, so I've got three primary identities, and this is why I suggest manifesting to the max.com. Loving husband, loving teacher, loving puppy dad. Each of them has different things that he knows he's going to encounter during the day, that he's going to do. So in the process of doubling the business and working half the time again, so I can spend more time chasing her around the garden and throwing the ball for that. One over there and watch the other one just sort of sulk because he doesn't want to be
I
happy.
know.
He just doesn't want anyone else to be
Or he
happy.
just gets angry.
He just gets hangry, right? That's
Yeah.
Joe Weldon. Somebody hashtag Joe Weldon there.
Yeah.
But this whole thing of like really, I would get totally out of this whole thing of aims and goals and just go to mine, right? Loving, happy teacher, successful businessman, those states have me do something every day.
Yeah. Because I was feeling that it was really it was definitely a thing for Dream Driven Day as well, because Cortez said aims and goals in life, and it's like,
Life.
yeah, it's
Yep,
out
out there
there, it's
somewhere.
like forever. Whereas bring it back to your day,
Yep.
like you say.
I I
Yeah.
can't help but do a show, right? Yeah, I just said, "Her, you gonna edit it?" Right? Yeah, yeah. Do a podcast in the morning, do some other things, clean up some stuff on websites, get a little bit more or less creative with my writing.
Mm.
You know, some of it's very creative, right? As y'all have told me.
It's very creative.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, I'd drop that whole thing of definite aims and or goals in life someday. And by the way, we're going to open up the doors for Dream Driven Day probably in the next week or so.
I saw that in the email yesterday, and I thought that can't be right because we're not doing it till February or something, are we?
I'm getting people bug me about it.
All
So
right.
it's like, well, might as well start taking their money.
Oh, okay.
Fill it up.
Cool. Excellent.
Because that's the other key, right? Whenever you have commitment, I mean, yeah, an identity is a commitment. Loving husband, loving teacher, loving puppy dad. When somebody's single and they around me and they call who they're with their wife, I go, oh yeah, when you guys get married? And they're like, well, we're not. It's like, then don't abuse that, right? Because you don't have commitment, right? You don't got commitment, you don't deserve to call her your wife. You know what I mean? It's just a little thing I'm funny about. Like whenever people say, I teach entrepreneurship, I says, have you ever owned a business? I says, well, I've studied how, and I got a degree in it, so I teach it at the university. And it's like, right, you don't have the fucking right to, right? You don't. You never did it. You don't have the right, right? Just plain and simple. But notice how that fits in with identity and experience as we continue. By the way, my Tegya said manifesting to the max rocks, I believe a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Thank you. And richness of experience. So I just want to thank you for that comment a little bit ago. So,
Cool.
but let us continue. Cortez, notice how it weaves into the ones above and below yours. Next.
All right. Thank you, Katizi. And the next question is from two-time Tommy.
Two
Hasn't
time.
heard from you for a while.
Tommy.
Can I reject? And Tommy asks, could others reject what you're imagining for them or about them?
Cool. So notice I rephrased it to can I reject? See, here's the thing. Don't give a shit about what others can or can't do, right? And now, of course, Neville says some things on this. He says, like with the golden rule, if you're imagining concerns another, make sure it's something that they want because the blessing not received is given back to the giver. Yeah, the blessing refused is given back to the giver. Neville says, if you know who you are and how this works, you're going to have a kick-ass life. Right.
Yep,
Yeah, you'll never pass another without lifting their cross.
Yep.
But here's the cool thing, right? If you deny how this works, you're going to walk around believing in secondary causes like luck. And it ain't luck, it's what somebody's imagining about you. It's what you're accepting as true without knowing you're accepting it as true. You know, here's the thing, right? I can imagine her happy all day. And I do imagine her happy all day. And she can reject like 5 or 10 minutes in a while. Once in a while, she can reject the whole kit and caboodle if she wants to.
Going back to bed.
Yeah, she can get spiteful. Right? I mean, you don't know her like I know her.
Spiteful.
So I sit in here and say, I see her out in the garden, and I go, I imagine that woman happy. And she goes, oh yeah, well I'll imagine you twice as happy, 20. So there, right? And that's how she is, right? And I can reject that as much as I want to, right? So Neville says what you can do is free will ends right after state. You can accept or reject any state, and that's where free will ends. Your state determines everything else. All right? So there's the fun. There's the fun bit right there. So, by the way,
So you can reject or whatever any state, but that's where what did you say?
and that's where free will ends.
What was after state? You can reject or
You can accept or reject
accept
any state.
or reject any state.
Yep. So if she drops in the happy, loving gardener having fun, boom, she'll go out and have fun. If she rejects that state, she can reject it. But if she, as soon as she imagines having fun, suddenly she'll have this idea to go do something or do something else. Or like 4 hours later, I'll be yelling lunch is getting a little cold, and she'll be saying coming, right? There's the fun, guys, right there, right? You can accept or reject any state, and the state determines the rest, all that you do and all that befalls you. And so, yeah. Here's the one thing. Could others, and I know someone's going to counter me with this because I watched this one get all twisted. Because Neville says others, that they're powerless that Neville says that they will play their part. So if you go to freeneville.com and you look up the word influence, you're going to find where Neville talks about the whole thing of clarity of form. So I imagine a kick-ass podcast. I imagine reading your emails about how you love the podcast. That's why you signed up for manifestingmasterycourse.com. But I never imagine specific people. Because those who want to learn will find someone who's willing to teach. Those who don't want to learn will find someone who's willing to teach to argue against, right? And that's the fun bit, right? But when you really, really get that, it's like, when Neville imagined giving his brother tickets to a solo show, the con man played his part, the ticket guy played his part, the people in line played their part, having the exact timing work out just right.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that Neville dictated all of their parts and made them jump through hoops.
And Neville played his part.
And Neville played his part. So, and it all began with him imagining giving the tickets. So, more on this as we continue to time. Tomi.
Excellent. The next question's from Donna.
Yeah, this is not the da-na-na-na-na, this is the other
this is another.
da-na-na-na-na.
Yeah,
So we'll call her Other Donna.
The next question's from Other Donna.
Other Donna.
Revising relationships. Donna asks, also, do you recommend revision if wanting to restore a broken relationship? My sister and I haven't spoken in over a year because of a disagreement. She didn't think I was taking the pandemic seriously enough. It's true. I feel like people's reactions have been much ado about nothing, including hers.
So, shame on you. Bad, bad, bad Donna. So, Badonna. So, cool, ready? I'd stop imagining the whole thing as a broken relationship. So write this down, everyone, right? Imaginal experience leads physical experience. So if you define a relationship as broken, then you have to define it as repaired and all that stuff. You just want your relationship to be different, right? So, I mean, you could revise what happened or whatever, but my suggestion is, if your phone rang and you're in the middle of a meal and you know it's yours, it's sister, and you know it's your sister, and
would you answer it? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the phone rings. We're in the middle of a meal, right? If your sister's always calling you about dumb shit, but I'm not talking in a negative way. I'm just like, she's calling to tell you about the kitten next door. It's like, fuck, I just want to eat my fucking food, right? I'll call you back, right? So if you were really getting along exceptionally well, and the phone rang, and you know it's your sister, do you just have a giggle going? I bet she's telling me about that fucking cat again, right? Yeah. I'll call her back later, right? Notice it. I'm not a fan of picking the tool for the task. I'm just a fan of just noticing what's the imaginal experience that would convince you everything's fine. Yeah, if you and your sister are getting along great and she's calling you all the time, you can go, yep, hello, 37th time today, how you doing, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
So that's where I'd play. Like, how can you make it so that you guys, of course, you're friends, you're sisters, for God's sake. So,
I'd weave in the coffee game for that one as well.
Oh, tell us about that, Victoria.
I don't know, just like with you said, even just with the call, I don't know, like having one sip of coffee and even just loving the moment of that coffee and seeing her call, but think,
Wait, watch this, ready? One sip of coffee and you're going, I wish you'd shut the fuck up.
I know, it's a bit like that. Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I love you, but will you just shut up?
I'm just enjoying this too much.
Yeah. Boom. See, you can. The whole thing is, if you let it be fun, if you let it be about your everyday thing, of course you're getting along. Like she calls you every freaking day whenever you're drinking the coffee. Yeah. See, she's the reason why you add the Kahlua to the coffee.
Yeah, or the Baileys, yeah.
All right.
Cool, excellent.
So we got a second question
we
from.
Have. So the next question from Donna, Joseph Goddard, and Dream Driven Day. Donna asks, in a previous email, you asked me if I was doing the Joseph Goddard technique, imagining the events of my day having gone my way. And it just takes me straight back just a sec to what Cassidy said, already having gotten gold, that sort of feel. I do it the night before because it seems easier, but wondered, could I use this to imagine an event that isn't part of my typical day, but I would like for it to be?
Cool. Shanita, welcome to the show. I saw you sneak in. All
Cool.
right, so
Mm.
here's what I'd stick with. I'd really keep the Joseph Goddard the way that it is. And the reason, so I wove it into Dream Driven Day a couple years ago, and just so people start working with it before we started talking about it like obsessively, like I do.
Mm.
But yeah, definitely. Yeah, you got rewind the tape. Yeah, you're definitely. We got your other one earlier. So, what's really cool with this, if you stick with the Joseph Goddard as Joseph Goddard did it, and like I do it, here's what you'll notice. I want to get you in the habit of specific events of your day already having gone your way. Triple D people, notice how I'm moving. Boom, boom, boom.
Vertical. Yep.
Versus that. That feels good, right?
Yep.
Boom. That's nice, right? So I bought us yummies for lunches, right? So
Mm.
I got like two lunches and a snack or three lunches all lined up in a row, right? To make Victoria's life easy peasy pumpkin pie because I like her, right?
Yeah.
So, but what I do is I imagine specific events that I know I will encounter today already having gone my way. This gets me in the habit of that. And I notice. I mean, I watch a lot of people on YouTube and so on. You know, not for hours, but people say, "Have you heard of this guy?" And I'll go click, and I'll be like, "Well, what I want you to do is repeatedly suggest to your subconscious mind, so that," and that's like, whatever, right? If you do the Joseph Goddard, like we say, specific events of the day already having gone my way, like this show. Before I get out of bed today, it's like 5:11, right? I hear the birds, and it's like, right? So it's like I slept in a little bit, that's okay, but I still nail a couple things before I get out of bed, like this show, because I know I'm having this show today, and I
Mm.
want to keep exploring and nailing this feeling of daily wins, daily wins, daily wins, daily wins. For the other part, for imagine an event that isn't part of your typical day but would like it to be, I wouldn't put that in your Joseph Goddard. You're just mixing things up. So I'd just do a normal, you know, experience of that, call it a day.
Normal session.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So, Donna, great question.
Excellent, Donna.
Boom. Da-na-na. Other
Thanks.
Donna.
Yeah.
Other Donna.
Thanks for your questions. The next question
What a,
is
you know,
from.
I gotta get the clicker out. Actually, you give me no respect, woman.
Oh, sorry. The next question is from Jennifer in Manifesting Mastery. Specific versus general. And Jennifer asks, "Thank you for the great shows. So I'd love to know the difference between the specific song dance decision versus what Abdullah said about Neville's first class trip. I would appreciate your thoughts or helping me to understand the difference. Thank you, Jen."
I really don't know what you're not talking
No,
about.
I don't know what you mean by the specific song dance
But I'll
decision.
make something up because I think this will help. Ready? Your
Hmm.
desire is your desire. If I've got a desire for a yummy lunch, I imagine her yum and I'm done with it.
Mm.
Mm. So I experience, what would I experience if I heard her yum? Mm. Yep, I like it when that woman has a yum. Right? Makes me feel like a man. Uh, and that's it.
Mm.
From there we get to pick out what's for lunch, discover what's for lunch, so on and so forth. But if I wake up and I go, pork belly, mm,
Yeah.
right? I, yeah, that's where I'll begin. Your desire's your desire. And that's the big thing. Triple D, Terry Morris music.
Oh, yeah,
Terry
Terry.
Morris music.
Yes.
And so here's the thing. Whatever your desire is, notice what your desire is. If you go too vague, if you go too specific, you know it because it just gets really weird, right?
Mm.
I love this one. I'm imagining everything always going my way. And I notice when people do that inappropriately, let's say, they always write me with endless frustrations, or it doesn't feel real, it feels fluffy. Yeah, of course. What do you want, right? Or I don't even answer them, right? They'll send me the thing. I imagine everything going my way, and I know this really works, but why doesn't it? I need you to agree with me, whatever. So I never answer back. And they write back, "Why didn't you answer?" It says, "Oh, now you got a specific desire. It's called getting an answer from me," right? Yeah, you really get to notice specific desires. Every desire has its own plan and power of fulfillment. If you're staying vague to avoid disappointment, you will find disappointment. If you're going specific to guarantee it, yeah, you'll find guaranteed suffering. I can guarantee that. So the thing is, you get to notice what really is your desire. A desire is something that you actually experience. If I experience, right, that's what I got. I didn't know I was buying dim sims today till I bought dim sims today, right?
Yep.
Look at her.
For snack.
Boom. So you get to get out of your head, you get to discover, and if you notice that if you're struggling, chunk up or chunk down. And that's the short, quick answer. For something deeper, you'll have to dive into some of the more advanced courses. So, crass commercial.
Wow.
End of line.
Excellent. Thank you, Jennifer, for your question.
So far, there's not been one thank you, 20, for your answer. You
I
know what I mean?
almost just, you must have put that in my head because I almost just spat that out. And I haven't said that in ages.
I know. I mean, like, I feel so appreciated.
I'm sorry. I'll say it after this one.
So appreciated.
And the last question for today is from Andrew in Manifesting Mastery. Taco truck manifesting.
That's where you said it right, too.
I know how you say it, taco.
Taco.
Yep. Andrew says, hi TT and Victoria. What would be a short, simple, speedy scene where I'm the owner of a successful taco truck business that makes me a lot of money and I'm enjoying my freedom, travelling wherever I want and enjoying my big house by the ocean. Thank you. You've tagged loads of stuff in there.
Coolio.
Yeah.
So I'd notice there's a couple separate desires in there.
There's a few.
So I broke it down when Victoria read it so that it wouldn't be one long paragraph.
Yeah, got ya.
So you want to be the owner of a successful taco truck business. Now, I don't know if that means one taco truck or a fleet, but we'll just toss that out there real quick. Makes you a lot of money. Do you want a lot of money, or do you want a lot of money from that business? Right. I assume when someone says successful business, right? So here's one thing I noticed from going to a lot of business seminars in my lifetime. People tell me like, "Oh, I'm the executive vice president of a successful business," and I go, "Radio," while they skim for change to pay for the coffee, right? So for me, if success is something that you've built in, of course, you're making money. Right, so do you want money from other things? Yada, yada, yada. Something else worth noticing. I'm enjoying my freedom. So you're not trading a lot of time for dollars. In other words, you're not the only guy in the truck.
Yeah.
Right? From the business. Cool. And traveling whenever you want. Enjoying your big house by the ocean. Coolio.
More desires, travelling wherever I want. And a big house by the ocean. They're all separate desires.
Yep. So I would just notice you got some separate desires there. And I'd start with the things. Here's my biggie. I am nuts about time. Right? I am really nuts about time. So I've got 2 calls tomorrow. That's a big day for me. Right? So it's like, so I've got 1 at 8, 1 at 10. I've got an hour in between. That's good. But I'm really nuts about my time. And I find if you want to I would imagine for fun, enjoying your home. Second thing, having freedom of time. 3, notice what would imply to you that you have those already, right? So again, nail the feeling of home, nail the feeling of time, nail what would imply that you had a successful taco truck business. Again, is it one taco truck or a fleet of taco trucks? You get to pick that out. But I just break them into individual things. Like, my guess is if you're enjoying your freedom, you're probably not the only guy working the truck. So like maybe you could imagine overhearing people saying, "Oh, that dude makes the best damn tacos, ever." Versus being the guy like tasting your own sweat while you're cooking the tacos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would break them into individual wishes and just notice, cool, what's it like enjoying your big house by the ocean? I'm assuming you don't mean Alcatraz, by the way. Some people see the big house. You know what I mean? Big house means prison.
Yeah.
Going to the big house.
I went to Alcatraz.
I didn't make it.
That's on the island, isn't it? Outside of San Fran.
Yeah, that is the island. Yeah.
That is the island. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
So that's what I got there. Break them down into just separate bits, and you'll find being able to nail that. Sort of like, oh, you're welcome, buddy. So it's sort of like, I mean, if if you're imagining getting a great answer here, you don't go, oh, I'm imagining getting a great answer off of 20 while at my beach house, while on my taco truck, while with,
Yeah,
you
lots
know,
of
my,
freedom and loads of money.
yeah, lots of freedom, loads of money, and
Yes.
triplets. I just love me
Yeah.
some triplets, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, you want some triplets? I mean, you can imagine triplets anytime you want to. So, but I grew up with triplets.
Did you?
They were a couple years younger than me. Andrea, Beth, and Chris.
Oh.
Yeah, they used to change outfits. They'd go to school and change outfits. You know, hashtag fuck with the nuns.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Excellent. Okay, Andrew. Thanks for your question, and great that you were here to hear it. So, what we'd like to know is, tell us, what was your hashtag strawberry bit?
Please answer my question too, if possible. Cole, I didn't see it. Troy and Angela. If you can toss it up real quick, yeah, I'll nail it. But when they scroll past here, we don't see them again,
Yeah.
ever. I don't think. Let's see what happens if I push that. Oh no.
No, no.
Yeah, we're new at this
It's all
program.
right, Bubs. Little
So
Brucey
while we're waiting for
boy.
Troy and Angela possibly to post up again,
Troy and Angela.
yes,
Must be the twins.
yeah,
We're
it
just
must
talking
be.
about triplets.
Well, Troy'd be a guy, I'm guessing.
I guess that, and Angela's a Korea girl.
Manjari, sorry, YouTube quit on me just while you were answering question. Well, you can rewind
do the
it
free fun.
like the DVD rewinder thing.
Yeah.
What's the imaginary act that would convince me that everything is fine? What's Magi's? Boom. All right.
Oh,
Brucey.
Brucey. I know, Bruce. I know.
So Victoria wants to know.
Yeah, I did hold it up. Your hashtag strawberry bit. So mine was actually just really appreciating today, because you've said it loads. You get to accept or reject. How did it go? About your state.
Yeah, you can accept or uh, yes. Oh, you're asking me.
Yeah, I was asking you.
Oh, okay, cool.
What
Yeah,
was that
yeah,
statement again?
yeah. You can accept or reject any state. So if
Any
somebody wants
state.
to,
And
like,
that's where free will ends, I think you said.
that's where free will ends.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah. That's good.
And it makes it so much easier. And when you really, really get, it's like, I mean, imagine lovingly for people. If they reject it, you get it back. If they don't reject it, you get it too. The wait time is 2 years. Do we fast forward? And boy, I don't understand the question.
It's going to have to be for next week, Troy and Angela,
Yeah,
I reckon.
yeah. Feel free to drop.
20
Feel free to drop me an email on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or PM.
All right.
Okay, and what was your hashtag strawberry bit?
My hashtag strawberry bit. Just doing the show. I mean, I'm just going to go really freaking general because, since we moved over from the Facebook to the YouTubes here, it's just nice having you all over,
Yeah.
And for the guys that are sharing the show back on the Facebooks and whatever,
Thank you very much.
thanks,
you
guys. We really appreciate that because we
nice.
got up to 33 people, I think I saw.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. So they were our hashtag strawberry bits, and while you finished typing in yours, I saw someone said, Imaginal Experience leads physical experience. Yep, that's
Boom.
a real goodie too. Go to freeneville.com, subscribe to the 221 email list, and get a super pseudo randoms email every single day until you die.
That's right.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Mm-hmm.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right.
Was that Maria Louisa?
I did see.
No, not me.
It's
Sorry,
hard to see
the print is really
the print is
little,
really small on the
sometimes I go,
YouTubes. Yes.
I'll make a face. Okay, you guys, have a great day, night, weekend.
Love you, Brucey.
And we'll catch you
Next week. That's right.
Yeah.
With Brucey Boy.
Oh, it's a
Brucey Boy. All right, this is where I say that thing because I hit the X.
Yeah, you think it says
That says,
streaking.
are you sure that you want to stop streaking? Yeah.